4 talks given by Krishnamurti in Ojai, California. Jiddu Krishnamurti is regarded internationally as one of the great teachers and philosophers of all time. For some 60 years, he has been traveling throughout the world giving public talks to increasingly large audiences. He has published over 30 books and founded schools in the United States, England, and India.
If one may remind you again, this is not a lecture. Lectures are meant to convey or give instructions, informations and guidance. So this is not a lecture. But we are going to take a journey together into an extensive field of the psyche, in the psychological realm, which, though there have been great many descriptions, investigations up to a certain point, but in these talks, if one may remind you, we are going together as two friends, take a long journey into the area of the whole psychological states. If we have time, and if we can go to the very end of it, not stop in the middle of something which we may not like or dislike. One must take the journey to the very end of things. And we must go on taking the journey together as two friends who was concerned with the way of life, to find out for themselves, without any guru's authority and all that rubbish, find out for themselves an art, a way of life which is our art, an art that will bring about in human beings a great deal of quietude, affection, and an art of life. These two friends, you and the speaker, are taking a long, extensive journey together. Together. Please bear this in mind all the time. He is not speaking for his own pleasure. If he does, he can do that in his own room if he wants to. But as two friends exploring hesitantly, without any bars, skeptically, doubting, questioning, exploring and observing objectively, without any bias, together. Because we are concerned with our own lives. And this inquiry into this psyche is not selfish activity does not encourage or expand self-centered, egotistic movement. On the contrary, both religiously and through education throughout the world, the egocentric activity has been emphasized. This is the common lot of every human being on this earth. Every human being on this earth has invented their own gods, hoping thereby there could be some kind of security, a way out of fear, praying in their own way to end their own complexity, their own pain and anxiety. This is shared by all human beings, not by you as an American or an Italian or a Russian or English or an Indian, but is shared by every human being on this earth. You may intellectually, my friend, accept the logic of it, but what is logic, reason, is merely superficial too. But when one actually, in one's blood, in one's whole being, feels the truth of this, that our consciousness is shared by all humanity. You may believe in one kind of God or in one kind of Savior and so on, but that believing is shared by every human being, to believe in something. So, you are humanity. This is a great truth, this great something when one actually, in one's heart, in one's blood, in one's guts, realizes this, then we will think of the world totally in a different way. To kill another is to kill oneself. To hate another is to hate oneself, and so on. And as together you and the speaker are taking a journey, we ought to inquire into what is discipline and what is parapsychology. Many people are concerned with the parapsychology, with the occultism, reading thought and awakening Kundalini. You heard all that kind of stuff, haven't you? Going to India to find out, or to Tibet if you can get there, you can't anymore, or go to Japan, find out all the rest of this stuff. The speaker has been from childhood involved in all this. Forgive me for being a little personal. He knows a great deal or something for that. But all these things are like a pleasant day or a lovely afternoon that pass away, and they have utterly no importance whatsoever. What is important, most essential, not these mysterious things which are not mysterious at all. One is very sensitive, both physically and has a very, very quiet, silent mind, brain, and all the other things are possible. And what is possible can be understood and transcended. What is to find out that which is timeless, which is beyond measure, is much more important than to indulge in these childish things. And also, we ought to talk over together what is discipline. Why human beings more and more have no sense of order. Please, this is not a sermon which becomes a bore. The speaker is not telling you what to do or what to think, but to observe together, to see things as they are, not as you or the speaker wishes, to see exactly, correctly, directly, things as they are. We live in a very disordered world, chaotic, contradictory, cruel world. And this has been the result of long 40,000 years of evolution. And we have come to this chaotic state. And in observing that, what is order? Is there any order at all? Or must man, human beings, live perpetually in disorder, not only externally, but also inwardly? Disorder, which seems to be our lot. To think clearly, objectively, it seems almost impossible, because each one of us wants his own particular way, his own fulfillment, his own ambition, and so on. So, what is order, and what is the relationship of that to discipline? The word discipline etymologically means a disciple who learns. It comes from the word disciple. A disciple is one who is learning, not conforming, not repeating, not repeating slogans, but constantly learning. So what do we mean by learning? When you go to school, college, university, you learn from books, from the professors, from the teachers, and memorize. That memory is necessary up to a certain point to have a vocation, a job. Either one uses that memory skillfully or sloppily. So, learning so far as we understand it generally is to memorize. Read a book about mathematics or computers, what you like, what you will, and memorize from that act. So it becomes mechanical. So is there a learning? Please inquire with the speaker. He's asking the friend who is walking along, taking the journey together. He's asking him what he's actually learning. Is it merely memory operating, accumulation of great deal of information, knowledge about various subjects which have their own discipline, their own way, and gradually the brain follows certain categories, certain grooves, and so those grooves and categories and specializations become a means of accumulating knowledge, memory, and operating from that memory. This is what we call learning. But learning is also implies a constant movement, a brain that is not only burdened with knowledge of mathematics, geography, history, or computer and so on, but also the brain must be active, inquiring, questioning, doubting. And through this process, there is never I'm finding the right word. There is never static state. Knowledge becomes static when you have accumulated a great deal. It becomes repetitive, static. But learning is a movement. And therefore it's never static. It's living. This, one must understand this very carefully, because each one of us, the self, the me, the persona, what you will call, what you like, whatever name you give to this psyche, is a bundle of memories. We may think we are great spiritual entities, gods, or all the rest of that business, but it's still memory. We are a bundle of memories. And to that memory we are adding all the time. But the essence of it is static. But whereas learning, not merely accumulating knowledge, but moving further away from knowledge, constantly, is the act of learning. That learning brings its own discipline, which is to order. Therefore, order is a living thing, not conformity, pattern, following a pattern. Which doesn't mean that you change from day to day to day. That's what you're all doing, going after various fads. But learning implies tremendous observation. Observation without motive. The moment you have motive, that motive is static. Because that motive is born out of memory. I hope my friend is following all this. If not, he says, I don't understand what the devil you're talking about. We all live by motives. Sexual motive, motives of pleasure, motives of wanting, gratifying, achieving illumination, all that, enlightenment, all that. We live by motive. And you are saying something either true or utterly nonsense. Where the word motive, the root meaning of that word is to move. To move not in a particular direction, not self-centered, egotistic desire. This becomes difficult. A motive implies, as we said, motive is born out of memory. Right? Because I want something which I'm missing. Right? That's one form of motive. I want to achieve fame, appear in the beastly papers, well-known, power, position. Well, everybody says, what a marvelous bird you are. There's a motive, which is a projection of our own memory and desire. Therefore, that memory is limited, and therefore static. Right? Have you understood, my friend? He said, go on, I'm catching what you're talking about. But is this possible, he asks, to live, and to live so that there is constantly learning till you reach a point when there is no learning at all. Because what is there to learn except mathematics, engineering, science and so on, technological learning? Apart from all that, what is there to learn? Please, this is, you understand, go slowly, my friend. He says to me, to the speaker, go slow. My brain doesn't work as rapidly as yourself. That's a form of flattery which the speaker is not falling to. So he says, explain a little more, because we are talking about order. This order can only be understood and lived, not merely intellectually understood, but lived in daily life. That order comes only when the static movement of the self as memory, which its motive, is no longer operating. Because the self is a bundle of memories. I'm telling the friend, if you watch yourself, you see you are a bundle of memories. And to those memories can be added a great deal, but it's still memory. And therefore it's limited. Therefore it's static. Anything that is static must
write the Krishnamurti Foundation of America, Box 216, Ojai, California 23.